Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. You know, I've received a couple of emails from some veterans and what they're telling me, or what they've told me, and I've posted what they've told me, is that the one in particular was on Valium for 22 years and they cut him off cold turkey. He wasn't helped to deal with withdrawals. Another one was denied his medication that he received for I don't know how many years, which helped him able to drive without falling asleep. Again, he was cut off cold turkey. You have to wonder how many of our military were given psychotropic drugs and then cut off cold turkey. There's an interesting article in Huffington Post. Tragedy of military suicides will go on for many years, Army Chief warns. And what the article states is that a tragic milestone was reached last year when 185 active duty Army soldiers died by suicide, surpassing the 176 soldiers killed in battle in Afghanistan. Now, they're only talking about Army soldiers. They're not talking about Marines. They're not talking about Air Force. They're not talking about Navy. They're not talking about Special Forces. All they're talking about is Army. In all of those military disciplines are experiencing a very high rate of suicides. Is it possible that that's because the Veterans Administration gives them psychotropic drugs and cuts them off cold turkey? Doesn't help them deal with the withdrawals? Why else would these people kill themselves with their own hands, by their own hands? It doesn't make any sense. You know, that one veteran that I highlighted who received Valium for 22 years, what did he say? He was cut off cold turkey. They didn't help him deal with his withdrawals. I guess his drugs weren't severe enough to cause him to want to end his life. But how many of our military have received psychotropic drugs, have been denied support when those drugs were cut off? Might that explain why so many of our military have committed suicide? I gotta believe that's a real strong possibility. I gotta believe that our VA is helping to kill our own military by not dealing with what they need to be dealt with, which is to help them through the withdrawal symptoms when their medication's cut off. What do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen when Obamacare kicks in and medication, psychotropic drugs that are being taken by the population is deprived, denied to those users? We're going to have mass chaos. We're going to have insane people running around killing themselves and others. Folks, this is really scary. The veterans need to be protected, and they're obviously not being protected. How do you prescribe Valium for 22 years to someone and then say, no more, have a nice day? You don't think there's something wrong with this picture? I sure as hell do.